before we get to the shit, this story here hit home with your boy. For those of you who have been listening to me via who go back with me to the Spann report, right? Who go back with me from the Spann report. I was arrested in the city of Chicago back in 2011 for the unlawful possession of a firearm, okay? I did a podcast episode back when this was the Spann report. It was, I believe, episode 11. And it was called, Is There a Problem, Officer? And what happened was I was arrested for that gun in Chicago. Gun wasn't in my possession at all at the time. I had my encounter with the police. But I was, I'm licensed to carry a concealed firearm here in the state of Michigan. At the time, I was not carrying my pistol, but you know what? I'm gonna just let this. I'm gonna let the story. I'm gonna play this story, and then I'm gonna kind of tell my story on the back end of it. Okay, that's how we gonna do that. But I'm gonna let this go ahead and do this thing, and then I'm gonna tell my story on the back end of it. That's how we gonna do that. But yeah, apparently black gun owners are finding out their rights are being violated in the city of Chicago because despite trying to do things the right way, they're still finding themselves being charged with felonies for carrying guns that they've already applied to the state and have been given permission by the state to carry concealed within the city of Chicago, man. All right, so we get this story here. This comes from CBS News. And I'm gonna pull this story up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Yeah, man. This is a yeah. How long is this video? It's about 9 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna play the entire 9 minutes, but yeah, we're gonna talk about this because the fact that this is still happening, despite the fact that Chicago now has concealed carry, it's fucked up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Check this out, y'all.
Constitutional right to carry a gun in the state of Illinois if you have the proper licenses. But some black gun owners say their rights are being violated. CBS News Chicago investigator Dorothy Tucker uncovered several cases where they were stopped by police and charged with felonies despite having everything in order, leaving them to pick up the pieces of their lives.
We did something that's never been done before, watermelon cheesecake.
A cheesecake tasting in the south suburbs. Louis McWilliams' dream is to grow his business.
And it's gonna blow you away.
I like it.
All was good.
Oh my God, it's so good. I told you. This is like a Jolly Ranch.
Until this.
Right now, you're being detained right now, Mr. McWilliams.
I'm an entrepreneur. I have a cheesecake company called Ann's Flavored Cheesecakes.
At the time of this interview, Louis faced a felony charge.
This has been very traumatic for me. I feel like my rights was violated.
His Second Amendment rights. Louis is an avid gun owner.
Just got me the AR top, one in the middle.
In April, Louis was pulled over on the south side, West 79th Street. He had a missing front plate.
Hey, yes, sir. How you doing, boss? Good.
The first thing he did, tell the officers he had a gun.
Hold on a second.
Okay, where's your firearm?
The first thing he did,
Notice his hands were already out of the car. Okay, this is something that I practice when I am when I'm carrying my firearm and I'm approached by police. The first thing I do, I put my hands outside of the car because I know, as a concealed carry licensee, that when the police officers run my plate, they already know that I am licensed to carry a concealed firearm. So to put those motherfuckers at ease, always put my hands outside of the car. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but to avoid, some bullshit, that's definitely what I do. Okay. So notice that he already had his hands outside of the car.
tell the officers he had a gun.
Okay, where's your firearm? On my side. Okay, you got your concealed carry license?
According to state law, in order
Also, it's good practice if you do have your firearm in the car with you to declare that you do have your firearm in the car with you. If you're pulled over by the police and you got a gun in the car with you, even though you got license and you know that they know that you got license, still declare that your gun is in the car. Let them know off top, because that could be a problem later if you don't say nothing. Always let them know. Put your hands out the window and let them know the gun is in the car and where the gun is in the car, where the gun is at in the car when they ask.
In order to carry a legal gun in your car, you need a firearms license, better known as a FOID card, and a concealed and carry license, commonly called a CCL. This is Lewis's card, and it's valid. That's what he handed the officers.
He looks at him. He said, okay, cool, this is perfect.
Only it wasn't.
Consider carry, it didn't pop up. Oh.
It didn't pop up on Leeds, the database operated by the Illinois State Police. Police recommended Lewis be charged with 2 felonies.
Right now, Mr. McGood, because we can't verify your facility.
And look here, prosecutors approved the charges.
He never should have been charged.
Irv Miller is a former prosecutor, once in charge of reviewing police cases.
He showed them a valid CCL card. Not only did they see it, they actually took possession of it and inventoried it.
I haven't got the
It's right.
Which is some bullshit. They see that he had the license. He gave them the license. They inventoried the license. And because their systems hadn't updated, he's facing a felony because they haven't updated their systems. That's some bullshit, bruh.
There in CPD's inventory sheet. So why was Lewis arrested? That's a question we wanted to ask Superintendent Larry Snelling, but he declined an interview.
Of course he declined an interview, and I'm going to tell you exactly why he declined an interview. I believe the Chicago police have a practice of arresting people who even are trying to obtain, like who are trying to do things the right way. If they can get you to pay fines, or if they can get you to plead guilty, which is what they tried to get me to do, try to get you to plead guilty so that you can just get away from the shit, then they can also keep you from having a firearm legally, right? And so I think this is a concerted effort by the Chicago police, and it's been for a long time, man. They had a handgun ban in the city of Chicago for a long time after the killing of Ben Wilson. Ben Wilson, who was the basketball phenom out of Simeon High School, who many thought would have been an NBA All-Star, All-Pro, like all-time great. My aunt went to school with Ben Wilson. She was at school when Ben Wilson was killed, right? Many of the black basketball players who come out of Simeon now wearing the number 25 in honor of Ben Wilson. You've seen Derrick Rose wear number 25. You've seen Ben Simmons, not Ben Simmons, what's my man's name? Shit, my man that went to DePaul. Fuck. But they wear number 25 in honor of Ben Simmons. But his mom got the city to enact an ordinance to ban handguns in the city, right? And from then on, man, there's been this concerted effort to take guns out of the hands of citizens in the city. And so I think that mantra is still in play, but they can also monetize it and also keep people from having firearms. Even the people who are trying to do the shit the right way, they will go about trying to do that, trying to effectuate you not being able to carry a firearm.
Reached out to state police because anytime an officer pulls over a driver who has a gun, the first thing they do is check the state's database to see if that driver has a valid FOID and CCL.
Oh, okay.
So here's the question we asked the state. If a driver like Lewis actually hands the police a valid CCL, but the officers don't see the information in the state's database, what should they do? The state replied, the officers should not take any law enforcement action as it relates to a potential FOID CCL violation. That's what Lewis expected, and what he was told later as he stood in a jail cell.
And if this comes back clean,
yeah, then they just let you go, apologize, and let you go about your day.
That's not what happened. Lewis spent 24 traumatic hours behind bars.
It was just deplorable. There were roaches falling from the ceiling.
all of this because of illegal everything.
Yeah, I can't tell you why.
I need somebody to tell me, man.
Worse than the jail conditions? A missed business opportunity.
That day, I had a meeting. Could not do the meeting that day because I was arrested. By losing that, I might have lost the franchise.
Yeah.
Lewis also lost time, lots of it. He was in and out of court fighting to get the charges dismissed.
That also rings true and rings familiar. I remember when I was going through my case with the city of Chicago, I was having to come back and forth to the city of Chicago from Detroit. I had about maybe 3 or 4 different court dates that I had to attend over the course of 6 months. And I made every court date. And, you know, the thing that pissed the judge off, because eventually my case was thrown out. Eventually my case got thrown out. One of the things that like the judge on my case thought was odd was the fact that they allowed me to continue to fly, you know, to come back and forth to, you know, to Detroit and Chicago. They were like, well, if you really, he was like, well, if y'all really thought this man was a problem or a risk, why would you allow for him to go back home to Detroit? You know, and I am I'm a regular Joe, you know what I'm saying? I got a license. They knew I had a license. And so for those of you who may be not familiar with the story, I was on the south side of Chicago. I was on Cottage Grove. I want to say probably around 75th and Cottage Grove when I was pulled over by Chicago police, who said that I did not signal while changing lanes. Right. So they pulled me over. I pulled right over. And once they pulled me over, bro, it was already 2 squad cars and 5 cops surrounding my fucking car. Right. They pulled me out of my car. They started searching my shit. Right. And they find a spare magazine. I always kept a spare mag in my center console. And they was like, yo, so where's the gun at? And I'm like, you know, it's in my luggage, because although I was licensed to carry a concealed weapon in Michigan, I have my Michigan license is honored by, I want to say about maybe 36 states. I also understood that my license wasn't honored in Illinois. So I wasn't carrying. I left my gun in my luggage at my grandma's house, and foolishly trying to be cooperative with these cops to let them know I'm not a problem, I told them that my gun was in my luggage at my grandma's house. So these motherfuckers went to my grandma's house, and Granny, you know, not knowing that she does not have to let them in, that she does, my grandma, you know, she's about the compliance. She don't want no problems with the police. So the police come in the house, they ask where my luggage was, they find my pistol in my luggage, and then they come back and they arrest me. They arrest me after they find the gun where I told them the gun was, because again, this is not where the gun ain't nowhere near the traffic stop. We about 6 miles away from where the traffic stop was. Okay? They arrest me, and then when I get before the judge, they say they found my gun and an extra mag of ammunition in the car with me. This is what they said before a fucking judge in Cook County, man. Yeah. And so, like I said, it took me about 6 months fighting that case for them, you know, for the judge to finally throw it out. He's like, yo, this man is licensed in the state that he's from. He's a blue collar worker. You allowed for him to come back and forth to the city of Chicago. He's never missed a court date. You're wasting the court's time. Right? So he dismissed the case. However, I would still have to pay for my record to be expunged, and I would have to sue the city of Chicago to retrieve my property, which was the Glock 27 that they took from me that day. Right? And rather than do all of that, I just said, well, fuck it, I'll just buy another gun. I never bought another Glock again. Right? But that's what happened in my case. So this is why this shit rings so fucking familiar for me.
And his impounded car returned.
I know this is a system, so just hoping for the best results.
It wasn't until mid-June, 3 months after he was stopped, that the case was finally dismissed.
I'm very excited for him, but this is not the end.
Next step, more money spent to expunge the case.
Yep.
So his arrest won't show up in a background check.
Yep.
And all of this for somebody who did nothing wrong?
Correct.
Your joy is a little bit...
Dampered, yes. Totally dampered, because now this is a much longer process.
It's nearly impossible to know how many drivers like Lewis are wrongly charged with unlawful gun possession that are later dismissed. Neither the CPD or the Cook County State's Attorney's Office track it.
Because we got to confirm whether it's actually valid or not.
We did find a handful of lawsuits accusing police of violating the rights of legal gun owners.
Also, here's the other part. Right? Check this out, y'all. I was a member of the NRA at the time. I was a member of the NRA. And I'm like thinking, yo, the NRA Defense Fund or whatever, they gonna help me fight these motherfuckers down in Chicago, and I'll be goddamn, nigga. No, they did not.
Be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
They did not. They did not help me with a motherfucking thing. Y'all know how I got my lawyer? My lawyer just so happened to be a very good friend of a former teacher of mine. One of the things I'm always grateful for is that my high school in Chicago, we formed a lot of familial bonds there, right? And my mentor, Mr. J. Roy Jones, God rest his soul, man. I went up to the school, man, and I was telling them about my situation. And I would always just kind of, every time I would come home to Chicago, man, if I had time and I knew if they were going to be, the school was going to be open, I would head up to the school, man, and I would talk to my people up there. My girl, Miss Shalise, is the principal at my high school right now. I graduated with this girl, and now she's the principal of our fucking high school. That's dope. That's fucking dope. But we would always go up there, and I would talk to my peeps up there, and I was telling Mr. Jones about my situation. He said, I got somebody for you. And that's how I got my fucking lawyer. The NRA didn't help me with shit. But they kept sending me stuff in the mail asking for money, though. Even after I got out of the NRA, even after I moved from the previous address I had, the NRA was still sending me mailers asking for money? Yeah, man. So, fuck the NRA, bro. Straight up. And then after that, what happened with Philando Castile, it's been fuck the NRA ever since then. For real, for real. And anybody associated with them bitches, Coleon Noir. So, we got that going on, man. But, the fact that he's going through this, there's an additional story of his sister. I'm going to leave the link to this video in the show notes so you guys can watch this in its entirety. But it just highlighted, it brought back a memory from some shit that happened to me 14 years ago. The fact that the city of Chicago is still doing this shit bothers me, bruh. The fact that even after they have instituted some level of the handgun ban in Chicago has been deemed unconstitutional. They have a right to carry concealed in Chicago. I haven't applied for a right for the concealed carry license because of that arrest. I know that arrest is gonna come up when I apply. And so those application fees are non-refundable. So if they say no, nigga, I'm just out of my money. Right? So I don't even want to bother applying for the license there because I know it's gonna be some bullshit. Right? But yeah, man, I hate that brother's going through this. The fact that there are still people going through this in the city of Chicago, it's sad, man. It's sad. But we got a few comments here. Oh man, Peanut says watermelon cheesecake. I might need to try that. Hey, nigga. Watermelon and cheesecake sounds like a winning motherfucking combination to me too, bro. You ain't alone on that one. Collapses says living in Texas, we're damn near lawless when it comes to carrying firearms. I mean, I think y'all basically got some shit like constitutional carry in Texas. I don't even think do y'all even have to carry? Do y'all need a license to carry concealed in Texas? I believe y'all just can carry however the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. I don't even think y'all have licensing for that type of shit in Texas. Let me know, man. Let me know, because I try to stay up on the gun laws because, when I travel, I want to know where and when I can carry my shit. So, yeah, man, let me know if I'm on par with that, if I'm right on that. Says Collapses also says the city should have cut you a check. That's a bad arrest. Hey, that's the thing, though. Now I got to come out of money for a lawyer to sue the city for not only that, but that's cash out of my pocket. Now, at the time, I wasn't working. I work for the same company, but I wasn't in the same job that I am in now. I couldn't afford that, bro. I couldn't afford that. So it becomes the things like just cutting your losses, man. Like, hey, yeah, so y'all got a $700 Glock 27. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll just go buy another gun. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to be done with this shit. I'm trying to get back home so I can get to work. Even when I was in jail, my thing was, hey, bro, I got to get back home to get to work. Right? I'm in the cells with these other motherfuckers who got much more serious crimes than me. And all of them like, hey man, you ain't supposed to be in here. Right? These niggas are like paralegals in this motherfucker, bro. But yeah, man. Also, Peanut says Chicago said, no, we ain't doing shit. And then Collapse said they got you on the ammunition. No, they didn't get me on the ammunition. The ammunition was the impetus for them to ask about the firearm. So here's the thing though. At least that's what they would like motherfuckers who don't know to believe. I know that because I am a licensed concealed carrier in the state of Michigan, when I drive in all the police agencies across the country, if they run the plates to my car, any car that is registered to me tells them that I am licensed to carry a concealed firearm in the state in which my license was issued. Okay, so they pulled me over under the auspices of, hey, you failed to signal while changing lanes. But if that was the case, did it take 5 of y'all and guns drawn on a signal on a failure to signal while changing lanes? That's the pretext for the stop. But they already thought that they were going to see they thought the gun was going to be in the car. The gun wasn't in the car. Just so happened, because I kept that fucking magazine in the center console so long, I just forgot the bitch was there. That's how long that motherfucker was there. I just forgot it was there. And so, in me trying to be cooperative, guess what? They go to my grandma's house, rouse my grandma's house up, go through my luggage, find the gun that I told them was going to be, where the gun was going to be at, and then say that they found that gun in the car with me, as if I was driving around Chicago with the firearm when I was not. And that's part of the reason why the inconsistencies in the Chicago police's case is why that shit got thrown out. But Collapse is you just have to be over 21 in Texas to carry a gun, no license. That's scary. Because how many people don't know the ins and outs of how to be safe with their firearm, how to when to engage with their firearm. Like that's fucking scary to me, man. That like you just got all you gotta do is be over 21. Shit, you can carry that bitch no matter what. That's some bullshit right there. But yeah, man, that's what happened to me. That's what's going on in Chicago right now. And I wanted to highlight that story because, again, like I said, that happened to me about 14 fucking years ago, man, and it's still happening today. So yeah, man, we got that.